Okay, we are now live. Um, okay, everyone. Little emergency stream coming up here. We're going to be talking about something absolutely stupid, and it is probably going to get a lot worse before this is over with. Let me tell you. So, hello, everyone. I am Badger Wild, and I am very, very, very disappointed. I currently, right now, have a refund going for Helldivers 2. It saddens me to do this, but here's the thing. I got out of PlayStation a long time ago, and I'm not getting back into that abusive relationship. What we have up here today is the problem that is causing all of this. Something I'll make notice right here. The topic of this has been locked. It's amazing. Stuff is starting to happen. So this is what all this is about right here. Attention, Helldivers. Actually, let me pull it up here. Attention, Helldivers. Due to technical issues at launch of Helldivers 2, we allowed linking requirements for Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network account to be temporarily optional. Never said that. That grace period will now expire. See details below in this post. Account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players by selling PlayStation all of your information, mind you, and upholding the values of safety security provided on the and PlayStation Studio games. It basically, we don't like you having any fun. That's what's going on here. This is our main way to protect players from griefing abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behavior. It also allows these players that have been banned the right to appeal. One, your right to appeal doesn't exist on this. And two, what's going on here is PlayStation has to go through Steam to ban people, and Steam allows a lot more stuff to go on than what PlayStation will, because PlayStation are a bunch of wimps. This is annoying to me because I really like this game. It's a good game on the surface, but I have stated this on other people's videos, and I'm stating it now. Today, they're going to be asking for PlayStation Network accounts. Tomorrow, they're going to be coming to PC players and saying, "Hey, have you bought some PlayStation Plus membership?" Because remember, that's where PlayStation makes their money. They don't make their money off of this. This just makes the stockholders feel good. Here's another thing. People have been canceling their PlayStation membership. I know what this is involved with. It's over the Stellar Blade controversy that's been happening right now. And clearly, the people who are pissed about Stellar Blade censorship are doing some damage right now. The fact that Sony has got to run this in. Mind you, we haven't needed a PlayStation Network account to run this thing on Steam. I'm running it on my personal computer. I have not needed it, but now suddenly I'm going to be required of it. Here's the best part of it. As such, as of May 6th, right down here, all new Helldivers players on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account. Currently, players on Steam will start seeing the mandatory login from May 30th. Will be required to have a linked PlayStation Network account by June 4th. PlayStation Network accounts are free and easy to set up. Use this link. Here's the problem with that. If you don't have a PlayStation Network account, the game that you've bought that we have all been enjoying up till now, you don't have access to it anymore. And I'm not playing that crap. We're not playing this game. They're like, we understand that while this may be hang on, let me get this over here. We understand that while this may be an inconvenience for you, this step will help us continue to build a community that you are all proud to be part of. Now, this is, I'm going to quote Flint from an old spy movie. This is the world that you want, not the one that I want. And this is why I left PlayStation. This is why as soon as my aunt called me up and said, "Hey, Badger, Auntie Badger needs an eye surgery. Would you be? I'm going to sell my old game system. Do you want? Would you be interested in a game PC? Because I don't play it no more. I don't play any of the games, and I was wondering if you would want one. And I said, hell yes, Auntie, give me that bitch. I will put it to good use. I have not touched my PlayStation since. Because I will tell you right now what I've figured out about PlayStation. PlayStation is like being a PlayStation member, being a having a PlayStation Network account, playing games on PlayStation is like being a battered housewife in an abusive relationship. That's you're not loved. They don't care about you, and they're going to do everything they can to screw with you at every point along the way. I have officially shut down Helldivers. It's off the library. I have a refund. I've asked them for a refund, and I told them specifically in the refund, I said, I'm not going to be able to play this because I'm not going to get a PlayStation Network account. I'm not going to be able to play it. Sorry. So all the content that I've got on here, that's just going to be the end of it. I had other builds we were planning on doing. I was planning on doing some live streams of this game, and that's not going to happen now. It is just horrible. Patroller. Scummy part is it took them almost 3 months to announce this change. Yeah. This is also why I guarantee you why Xbox is not on there. This is why Mavellian Creek happened. So stop and think about that one for a moment. We needed, when everyone said, why isn't Xbox in here? Why is it Xbox is never coming here? Because Xbox knows PlayStation's game. I've said this before in this stream. I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep reiterating it. Today it's the PSN account. Tomorrow it's the PlayStation Plus membership. They will come in and say, well, we need you to buy PlayStation Plus for your PC so you can play. Let me knock you around for not doing the dishes again. That's all this is. It pisses me off. The thing that irritated me about PlayStation and got me to not want to play their systems anymore, not play their games, not buy their system anymore, is because, and this is a little political, but we're just hitting some politics here. They came out there one time, I was playing GTA 5, I got in, I had 1 hour to get on the game for lunch and do, all my missions, make my money and whatnot. And I'm sitting there writing everything up. Yeah, got the guys together. We were going to just just hit all of our businesses. We were going to get them all knocked out within an hour. I calculated up probably 45 minutes is all I would need. I'm eating in the process. I get on my PlayStation. I log in to my PlayStation Network account. I get into GTA 5, and what do I find? In response to the George Floyd riots, we have shut down your game for the next hour. You are no longer allowed to play. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. I didn't shoot a black man. That's not something I do. Why am I being punished for this? And this is the only hour I've got today to do this. And it ended up, I didn't have time to do anything else. That account, my account just sat there because I was in the process of a job and I could not get the time off. I had to eat at the job for the rest of the week and I could not play the game. And they locked me out the one time I had to do it. And yeah, it may be a coincidence, but it's the fact of they can go in and just shut you out of your own game. And now we're sitting here asking for Helldivers account linking update. They're telling us, oh, you're going to have to link to an account. But here's something no one else has been talking about. The topic on this has been locked recently. It started 18 hours ago. They've locked this within 18 hours of me putting out this live stream. You can't do this. I noticed people were sitting here talking. I was like, oh, I want to join the conversation. Let my voice be heard. Can't. You cannot join this conversation because down here at the bottom, this topic has been locked by a moderator. No replies can be made. Yeah. Helldivers is feeling the hit. Within 18 hours, they are feeling the hit. And I guarantee this is a Helldivers moderator paid for by Arrowhead, and they are feeling the heat already. They're feeling the refund requests. They're feeling the pain. And it needs to be put onto them hard and heavy. This is just, it is mind-blowing that you have a game that is so good, that is so popular, that has everyone talking about it. There are videos. My wife is getting videos on Helldivers. It is so popular. It has just hit the algorithm and it's going. And then these people come in there and they're like, okay, yeah, let's just crap on it. And people are, and I've had people tell me who have already been talking about this in other videos. They've said, well, it's just a PSN account and it's free. And I'm like, if a child walked up to you with a handful of shit and told you, here, it's free, would you take it? No, because it's still shit. The PlayStation Network is shit. They get hacked all the time. I don't want them in my system. It's even worse. Hang on, let me see if I can find this here. Because part of the thing that PlayStation likes to do, see if I can remember how to spell this here. See if I can find this. Yeah, this here. I am wondering about this. This is from NPR right here. Because PlayStation's doing this now. They're doing this thing where they can listen in on your conversations and everything else. This has already been done by colleges. Remote procedural exam that colleges began using widely during the pandemic saw a first big legal test of its own, one that concluded in a ruling applauded by digital privacy advocates. A federal judge this week sided with students at Cleveland State University in Ohio who alleged that a room scan taken before his online test is a protracting measure was unconstitutional. Well, what does that scanning do? Well, normally what this scan does, you go in there, you take your laptop, and you were forced to spin around the room with your laptop so you could scan everything. Here's the other thing. The Honor Lock system also listened in on your conversations, something PlayStation is already doing at the moment. Let me pull that up here. I should have all this stuff like set up, but I'm not used to doing this stuff. Can't remember how to spell patent. Never mind. But PlayStation recently now just patented tech. We'll just go back to here. PlayStation recently patented tech that would do the same thing as listening in on your conversations as you're sitting there. And then an AI would scan through it. A room scan is anything. A scan can be defined as anything, not just a visual scan. It can also be defined as an active auditory scan. And PlayStation is doing this, wants to do this through your mic. They also want to do it through biometric data, so they're scanning you in the process. Your bodily autonomy is messed up. And then they want to be able to ban you based on your biometrics. That's what they're doing. I think I can probably get that up. If I just type in like PlayStation and biometrics. Yeah, I think that's about right. That's where that comes up. Sony suggests biometric controllers for PlayStation 5. Basically, if you get a little intense, they're gonna F with you. They're gonna start banning you because you get a little heated. They want to control your heart rate. Imagine this. You can't get your heart rate up. This is, my God, you know what this is? This is Equilibrium, where they force everyone to take the freaking drugs. It's wild. Patroller. Game publishers holding the literal game industry at gunpoint. No matter what amazing games we get, the major publishers will always fucking find a way. Yeah, they will. They will find a way to screw that. Your best bet right now is to put your shit on Steam and just not mess with these gaming companies. Just don't fuck with those people. This has ruined me on buying another game. I'm gonna wait a year before I get a game, and that's sad. I've finally gotten into the party of, hey, you know what? We're gonna wait a year to see how this game goes before we get it. I got stuff in my Steam. I got stuff in my Steam that I want to play that I have the money to get right now, and I don't want to buy it. But basically, what this thing does, this is like really weird stuff. It gets weird when you start looking at this because I'm like, oh, they're doing this. Why are they doing this? And then I start looking into, someone suggested this nonsense. Sony is finally sharing details about the highly anticipated PlayStation 5, but the latest bit of news comes from a recently disclosed patent rather than the company itself. The details are complicated, but the concept is relatively straightforward. The patent would issue biometric sensors into the body, a scan of you. Remember this nonsense. They're going to scan your body. The sensor would allow the system to register and authenticate individual users with limited number of biometric profiles stored on the device. Why? This is what I don't understand. Why? How is this going to do any but better? The patent itself doesn't specify what type of biometric sensor would be used in the controller, so probably will give you cancer. Though a fingerprint scanner seems like the most convenient and most likely option, I doubt that. This is probably going to be some kind of radiation scan or some other bullshit. And I'm not even being. I'm being. No, I am. I'm being facetiously comedic right now. That's what I'm being. I'm being facetiously comedic at the moment. It's probably not going to be that, but I guarantee it's going to be some kind of Wi-Fi weird shit. However, other forms of biometric authentication could ultimately work just as well. So there are options out there for cancer. I guarantee if they have a choice, but everything else, I guarantee if they had a biometric scan that would remove cancer and they have an option of giving you cancer and stopping you from having cancer, they're going to pick cancer. That's where we're going to go here. Biometric authentication could increase utility of the PS5 controller in a number of ways. Yeah, like being able to ban you when you get a little out of sorts. The patent briefly mentions parental controls. Here it comes, censorship, which suggests that it could serve as a age gate to prevent children from playing violent video games designed for adults. This is really the parent's job. My kid doesn't play violent video games. I don't let her. I tell her when she picks a violent video game, I tell her, "You're under my roof, and I don't want that. I don't want you playing that. When you get older, you can play that game. But you're not playing it now because you're not old enough. I know what those games are. I know what's in them. I check the back of the box every time. I look through what's on there. I'm the responsible one who sits there and does that. I grew up in the age of Grand Theft Auto's hot coffee event, where parents didn't look at what was in the game. Some weird stuff that was supposed to be hidden came out, and then the parents started looking into what was in Grand Theft Auto and realized their like 4-year-old or 5-year-old was playing GTA 5 and learning how to steal cars and shoot people. I mean, dear God. Okay? Watch your kids. Just watch your kids. Do the thing. Do the right thing. The company's flagship gaming console is a fully connected LOT device integrating a biometric component into the controller. If Sony actually puts this concept into production, they probably will, would be a logical way to reap the many benefits of secure biometric authentication, or your biometric data will start going onto the internet, not just your digital data, like your heart rate and things like that. You could do this through biometrics. They do biometric scannings when they go into a hospital room and they put that little thing on your finger now. It's like a little crab clamp. It clamps onto your finger and it starts detecting your biometric data. That's what's going on. Let's see, where were we going? Especially for a company that handles millions of online gaming accounts, which they can barely keep track of right now, and transactions through the PlayStation Network, which get hacked all the time. Biometrics could also be used to monitor and discourage unhealthy gaming Here we go. Unhealthy gaming habits or toxic behavior in online games. Yeah, we're gonna try. What was that? What was that one guy said? You have to. Was it the Forbes? Not Forbes. What was it? Was the World Economic Forum or whatever it was, WEF, and he said, you have to force behavior. Yeah, this is what they're doing. This is the forced behavior. I told you, it's going to be like equilibrium. You're going to be playing, instead of a drug they're going to inject into your system, you're going to have a little bit of emotion, and then the whole system's going to shut down. You need to take a break. But my friends are dying in the game. No, you need to take a break. You got a little too heated. Your biometrics got too big. You got too angry at the game. You got too intense. You need to calm down. Like, you're going to have more people doing drugs just trying to keep their heart rates low. It is something that actually happened with snipers. They would get in the Cold War. They would start getting doped up on what was it, diazepam, where they would dope themselves up so they would keep their heart rate low and they wouldn't get all flustered. It was basically a what was it? It was like a tranquilizer, basically. And that's what will start happening. They're going to enforce some drug habits probably before it's over with. Because to play your game on Sony, I mean, Sony just needs to die as a company. Just let them burn. They just need to go the way of the dinosaur because they're not even getting close. Whatever the case, Sony seems to be trying to stay ahead of the curve in censorship with the use of biometric tech in gaming. It makes for a welcome contrast with other parts of its business where Sony was of the last companies to introduce biometric features on smartphones. Yeah, I don't even care because I don't even use biometric systems on my phone at all. Not that I know of. And the stupid part of all this is where it's going to. Okay, this is why I got away from PlayStation. And that's why we're also doing this today. I know I probably sound like a ranting conspiracy theorist right now at this moment. I'm just heated. I am heated and I am pissed off that once again I left the play. This is what makes me mad. I left. Okay? I left the country of PlayStation because they were so oppressive and they were so regimic and they were so awful. And I came to the much better land of PC gaming. And I love being in PC gaming. I have freedom. To give you an example, in just one of the games that I play on this channel, Space Engineers on PlayStation does not have access to mods at all. And you cannot get the game up to the highest level. You can't make an unlimited, or there are no unlimited PCU game modes or servers in the PlayStation aspect of it. Now, granted, there aren't any in Xbox, but Xbox will let you have some mods. The problem there is PlayStation is always underperforming when it comes to PC games. PC games, now, and a lot of the people are going to say when they hear mods, they're like, "Ooh, well, you're not going to have anything to FAP to." I'm not talking about fapping. Okay, we're not talking about anything sexual. We're talking about adding force fields to the game. We're talking about adding nanite systems to the game. We're talking about adding if I want to go in there and say, "Hey guys, let's play some Star Trek or something." We can load up a bunch of mods and we can have phasers, disruptor cannons, all that stuff. Or even better, you can go over and get Halo's builds, grab a couple Halo builds off the network, and then throw in some Halo mods, a couple of modifications. Hey, we got all the Archer missiles, we've got the auto cannons, we got the Mac cannons, baby. Can't do that on PlayStation. Hey, Patroller. I've never heard of this stuff before. Sony is really out there collecting information. I live in Norway, so shit like this wouldn't pass without dodging multiple laws and regulations. Oh, yes, yes. Get ready. Uh, this is what I hate about PlayStation. I would rather. I honestly wish when I was a kid, the only reason I got to be a PlayStation kid was because my sister came home one day and she did this um it's one of those types of races where the longer you go, the more money you make. And she ended up being the person who rode the bike the longest. She fell down, skinned herself up real bad. She come home, she was crying, and she goes, "I fell down." I said, "Oh, that's hard, sis. Are you okay?" She goes, "No, I won. Look what I got us." And she had a PlayStation, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have to go buy a console. Awesome." I mean, my sister was cool. We sat down, we played all kinds of. We were playing PlayStation games. I think the first game I actually got wasn't. It was Einhander, I believe, and then we got Tomb Raider, and then we just started buying different games. Whatever I could get away with in the house. I one time got in so much fucking trouble because I told my mom that GTA 5 was actually Gran Turismo, and that worked for about 3 times renting it until my mom actually got mad one time and looked at the case. And she was mad about something else, but then for some reason she just hyper focused on that game. She looked at it, she goes, "This is not Gran Turismo. What is this?" And I was like, "I'm screwed now." I got grounded for a month over that one. Yeah. Good times, good times. That was the fun part about PlayStation. But that is that is just the horrible thing. They have been a company. I would have ended up as an Xbox kid because that was what I was going to go get was an Xbox. Xbox had Halo. I mean, fuck, I wanted to play Halo when I was a kid. And I eventually did. I got to play Halo 1 and Halo 2. Have Halo 3 on the game, but I haven't played it yet. I've played Reach on here, but I haven't played it as like on the live stream or anything. I should live stream those sometime. I suck at Halo, but yeah, it's fun. But it's like this is the absolute nonsense that you're dealing with now. It's like you can't get they're not wanting you to get away from it. That idea of no escapism is starting to come forward, and it's making people get involved in this culture war who don't want to get involved. And those are the last people you want involved in the culture war because they usually end up being the worst opponents. And I'm trying to keep the channel not political, but this is just nuts because I have to do a video like this now because I have to explain to everyone. Everyone's going to be like, why are you not doing a Helldivers 2 updates? Why aren't you doing builds or anything like you promised? Oh, this is why. I cannot do it because I'm not going to get the PSN account. I don't want PSN. I got away from PSN. PlayStation is an inferior product. Yes, they have good first party games. They have great first party games, but their system is very underperforming compared to what you can get as PC. And then there's the politics behind them and the way they run the company. If you It doesn't matter. I mean, it's kind of reached a point where I'm like, if there's a game on PlayStation and it's also on PC, I don't want it. Because like I said at the beginning, it's a lump of shit and it's not going to be any good. And also, like I said, today, right now, it's going to be you can have a PlayStation Network account. Tomorrow, it's going to be you need to buy a PlayStation membership to play Helldivers. Mark my words. It is coming. PC players that are still on Helldivers are going to come up in probably a month, maybe another 3 months after January, whenever this is supposed to take effect. When is this taking effect here? June the 4th. I guarantee you. Also, another thing, I guarantee you June the 4th, they're going to drop a Helldivers Rainbow Cape after they said they weren't. That's that because and I'm not knocking on gay people. It's just Helldivers said they weren't going to get political. June 4th, get ready for it. The Rainbow Cape is coming. The trans cape, whatever cape they wanted, it's coming because PlayStation Network can do this to Helldiver, can do this to Arrowhead now. They're going to push for that later. And then after that, it may take them a year. I would say it may take a year to 2 years. We're going to hear Helldivers back in the news again because PlayStation's requiring you to get a PlayStation Plus membership to play the game. You're so invested in it right now, you're just going to have to buy it. And I'm sorry, I'm condescending and I'm negative today, and this is not the video y'all probably want to watch. The one video that I got in about the mod, it's doing really good, and I hate to do this, but I have to tell you guys why we're doing this. And just every time I tried to write it down, I just felt like there were things that just were not getting out there, and I wanted to be completely honest with everyone. And yeah, I know I sound like a conspiratorial nut job right now, but fuck, I'm so tired of this shit in my video games. I don't play my video games to be political. I play my video games to quote Mr. Feeney in Boy Meets World, to beat King Koopa and save the princess. That is the only thing I want to do in my video games. That's how I want to do this. And I cannot do this because no one is letting me. No one's leaving me alone to let me just play my games in peace. You've got to screw with me. And that's why I've left PlayStation behind. I will not get a PlayStation Network account. I've said this before on the stream, and I'll say it for the last time. Being a PlayStation Network member, being a PlayStation Plus member, was like being a battered housewife. And that's all I see when someone comes in there and says, "Oh, well, you're just hating on PlayStation." I'm just looking at them like, "You poor soul." Because I know all the nights you're getting the crap beat out of you every single time something you don't like something happening, but it hasn't hit that point where you finally realized I'm done. And I said this a long time ago. I'm done with PlayStation. I'll never buy a PlayStation console again. I'll never pay for PlayStation Network again. I'm not paying for PlayStation Plus. I'm not getting a PlayStation Network account. My account is dead. I set it off to the side and I let it go. I will not do that anymore. I am so sick and tired of having crap put into the game that I didn't want, that I didn't buy initially because some idiot has decided they want to put their politics, and that's mostly all of it. If it were conservatives doing this, throwing their politics in there and pitching a fit about stuff, I would do the same thing. I mean, this is a purely neutral political point that I've made. The problem is it's just the left doing it. In about another 10, 20 years, it'll be the right doing it. And I am so sick and tired of doing this to crap because I just want to play my game in peace. I want to come home. I want to relax. I want to do something. I wanted to come home and play Helldivers 2. Now I'm sitting here being told, you're going to have to get a PlayStation Network account. Badger, you tried to run away. No, 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 no. I will not go back to the PlayStation Gulag. I am not going back to the PlayStation Fields. Y'all cannot catch me. Okay, I ran from you once. I'm getting away a second time. Okay, I am off the PlayStation plantation and I am running just as hard and as fast as I can go to get away from you. The problem now is you come up and I've got my own little piece of land and I can defend it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about all this. Sorry about the negative video. And I hope you guys forgive me for it, but I had to at least tell you what the problem was and why we're not going to see Helldivers for a while. And as always, I am Badger Wild. Stay safe, stay frosty. Maybe one day we'll have a good game that no one will screw with. And until next time.